This is part of Iman bil Ghaib, having Iman in the unseen. Allah's knowledge about us individually and about your life and about what's best for you is unseen to you, is unknown to you. Other than some people ask this question, that sometimes the ulama, whenever something bad happens, they say that there's khair in this. It's maybe khair, right? So sometimes an ordinary person can get a bit frustrated. That he had some very big setback, business collapse, some accident in his family, some illness, and then he goes to somebody and he wants to get guidance in deen, right? And the person tells him, okay, there's khair in this. Okay, so the khair, yeah. Tell me to do sabr, tell me anything you want, but you're telling me this is khair for me? At that moment, because he's emotionally disturbed by whatever difficulties he's in, he can't understand this statement. So I want you to understand. It's not meant literally. It doesn't mean, okay, if your business went bankrupt, bankruptcy itself is a good thing. No. It doesn't mean that there's an accident or an illness in your family, that accidents and illnesses are good things. No. That's not what it means. What it means is that you're being put through this difficulty. You're being put through this experience that something bad is happening to you. I'm not saying it's good. But you're being put through this experience that something bad is happening to you might actually be good for you. Not that the thing is good. The thing is bad that's happening to you. But it might work out well for you. It might. What does that mean? There is a khair, a way, a path to get that khair. But not everybody has the sabr and strength to do it. And this is what you have to have, sabr. And if a person doesn't have patience and endurance and perseverance on their good deeds, they won't be able to get that khair, which Allah Ta'ala wanted them to get, or Allah Ta'ala enabled them to get, by putting them through this bad experience. So it's our choice, if we try to get that khair. So Shaykh Allah Ta'ala, he took the most extreme example. So the most extreme example is called fitnah. More than ibtila, more than imtihan, more than musibah. These are all words and variations of them come in Quran. The most worst thing that can happen to a person in this dunya is called fitnah. Fitnah. Al-fitnatu ashaddu min al-qatl. Allahu Akbar kabira. That fitnah is even more severe than murder. Fitnah. So he specifically wrote about this, that when a believer is tested through a fitnah, he should do 4 things. I'm going to add a 5th thing afterwards. 4 things. Number 1, sabr. Sabr has many meanings. The first meaning of sabr, if we were to explain in Urdu, sabr ka pehla mana ki besabri na kya. Patience means, number 1, don't be impatient. That's the first step in sabr. At least prevent yourself from the needle from going into impatience. It means to withhold yourself, to maintain yourself, to restrict yourself. That's the first meaning of sabr. Don't let yourself become impatient, react, erupt, frustrated, vexated, angry with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, etc. Sabr. Hold, pause, freeze yourself. Second meaning of sabr is endurance and perseverance. So what we already mentioned to you. Whatever ibadat you were doing, persevere in them. Yes, it's harder to do ibadah in bad times. It's easier to do ibadah in good times. So it requires endurance and fortitude and strength, that type of sabr, to persevere, to continue to maintain your ibadat in bad times. Second aspect of sabr. Okay, so the first thing is sabr. Second is Tafweez. Inni ufawwidu amri ilallah. Tafweez means to submit your matter entirely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So a mistake we do sometimes is we think that we will fix it. And then we try to fix it. And then many times our attempts to fix it messes it up. And then after messing it up even more, then finally we turn to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And yes, if you have some asbab, some way to fix the situation, you can try, but you have to do tafweez first, not last. Give up everything to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Know in your aqidah and in your heart of hearts that your matter and affair lies entirely with Allah. As long as Allah Ta'ala wants to see me in this fitnah, I will remain in this fitnah. And whenever Allah Ta'ala wishes to take me out of this fitnah, I will come out of this fitnah. That's it. As a human, as a weak, fallible human, I might make some effort to get out myself. But I know this from the outset, that as long as Allah Ta'ala wants me to remain in the fitnah, no matter how much I may try, I will never get out. And I know this also, that if Allah Ta'ala wants to take me out of the fitnah, even no matter how mistaken my efforts may be, I will come immediately out. That's called Tafweez. Tafweez. To submit your matter totally, entirely to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Now, who can do this? The one who had Sabr. You cannot do Tafweez if you let yourself become impatient. You will not be able to Tafweez if you roll back on your ibadat. You'll end up in that khusran that we already showed you in the Quran. You will only be able to do true Tafweez if you did the first step, you adopted true Sabr. Because what happens when you do Sabr? Inna Allaha ma'a sabirin. Even if you don't remember that ayah, it will happen. Even if you can't feel Allah Ta'ala's special ma'iyyah, His special companionship, He will give it to you if you are a person of Sabr. And people say subconscious. Subconscious means that it's something that your mind is not consciously aware of. It's in the background. Just like that, if you will, I will use a term like sabruh. Your ruh, to whatever extent you are conscious of that, and people are in this day and age very less conscious of it, you will not be aware of the mayat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But sabruh, subconsciously your ruh will feel that mayat, and therefore it will be easier for your ruh to do Tafweez. This is why it's so important to do Sabr, because it's the first step, it's the foundation. Then if a person does Sabr and then does Tafweez, the third thing is Duaa. But it's a different type of Duaa. The way the impatient person makes Duaa is a different type of Duaa. The way the person who's frustrated and angry makes Duaa is a different type of Duaa. And the way the person who does Sabr and then did Tafweez knows everything is in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's decree. The way that person makes Duaa, Allahu Akbar Kabir, it's a totally different type of Duaa. Heartfelt Duaa, munajat. In Urdu we say Dil ki Sada. In English you can say the plea of the heart. The silent plea of the heart, which is perhaps louder than any words that a person can offer. That type of Duaa. That type of Duaa will come. If a person did Sabr and Tafweez, then he uses a fourth word, but the fourth word is being used in a particular way. So the fourth word he uses in Arabic is Muraqaba. But in this fourth word he's not talking about a particular way of zikr. By Muraqaba he says that you should, after making dua to Allah Ta'ala, just the way, how can I give it? Just the way, remember I give the example of X-ray? So if I told you to constantly, deeply reflect and contemplate and think about all the bounties and blessings Allah Ta'ala has given you so that you can do Shukr. Okay? That's the topic of tomorrow's bayan, inshallah. Muraqaba here, he said, that ponder, reflect, deeply contemplate that this fitnah that Allah Ta'ala has put me in, what khair could there be in this fitnah for me? And he says that you will actually, if you've done Sabr, and you've done Tafweez, and you're making heartfelt dua to Allah Ta'ala, then you reflect, you will actually see, Allah will reveal, He will unveil some khair in this fitnah. And then I will then go to the next step. If you reach the fourth step and you actually see the khair, then you should do shukr for the fitnah. That's only if you reach all four steps. Because when you actually see the khair in the fitnah, sometimes Allah Ta'ala sends through fitnah a khair that you would never have imagined, that you would have never sought out, that was never even part of your life plan, that was unexpected, unplanned, and in fact unattainable, unreachable, except through this fitnah. And then you will make so much shukr to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you know that you're giving me this care that was never even in my niyyah, my intention to try to get. So I make so much shukr to you for this fitnah. Allahu Akbar Kabira. Look at the power of deen. To take a person, a human being who doesn't have deen, so you can imagine the level of depression they would be in fitnah, the level of sadness, the level of near suicidal feelings. But deen takes a person and guides them because of their belief in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of this sabr, tafweez and du'a and this reflection on Allah ta'ala giving khair. And Sayyidina Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said hadith that how amazing is the affair of every believer, that everything Allah ta'ala decrees for him is khair. Now you can understand. We don't always be able to see that, but that's the reality. That is the reality. So in these cases of fitnah, we should never lose our hope. We should never lose our hope.